I could just go around and say your names, say your role in the band.
I'm Packy. I play drums and sequences in the group.
I'm Evan. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Aaron. I play guitar and synthesizers.
I'm Dave. I play bass guitar and bass synth.
And the name Jimkata, what does that mean? Where did it come from?
It's originally the name of a really bad, terrible kung fu movie, B-movie from the 80s.
What makes it so bad?
I
mean, it's got kung fu in it.
Yeah, it's just like one of those, it's a B-movie. Super low budget B-movie.
Awesomely bad.
Yeah, awesomely bad. Like, hilariously bad. Starring the Olympic gold medal gymnast Kurt Thomas from 1984. So they wanted to make a movie with him, sort of ham-fistedly. Mm-hmm. And, true 80s fashion, Cold War style, fighting fictional Eastern Europeans with pommel horses.
Too bad we don't still do that. I mean, is Gabby Douglas the rescue or something? I don't know. That's interesting. Did anything about that movie influence your music, or you just liked the title Jimkata?
We just needed a name at the time. I mean, frankly, that's it. We just came up like years ago. This was like when three of us, Aaron and Packy and I, were just starting as in high school or something, just kind of jamming and had our first gig at the local park. We needed a name. We had seen that movie not long before, and that was it. And nothing else came up that was better. So
Glamorous story.
Yeah.
Horrible movie, so we named our band after it.
Yep.
In a nutshell.
Yep.
So, where does your style of music come from? Are there any unusual influences that might be surprising?
It's electro rock and roll, so obviously electronic music and rock and roll, like stuff that we've always listened to.
Yeah.
We're all children of the '90s, so hip hop and grunge and alternative music obviously played a role.
You got funk in there too.
Funk,
yeah,
mixed up.
Definitely some funk in there. Yeah, all kinds of stuff, really. I mean, our range is pretty broad.
Since you have started, do you feel like you've changed direction at all?
It's constantly evolving. Okay. I mean, we're constantly trying to figure out what are we exactly. Every time we go to a different city, people are like, "So what kind of music do you play?" Mm-hmm. So we say, "Oh, we play electro rock." Well, what does that mean? We're still trying to figure that on a daily
What does
basis.
that mean to you?
Electro rock?
Yeah.
I think it's like what Packy said, fusing elements of rock and roll and electronic music, whether that be like dance music or hip hop.
We used to only use bass, drums, and guitars too, but now there's a number of synthesizers on stage that we use and computers. So that, in a way, I guess that's what has changed. There's still just the four of us, but way more sounds coming off the stage.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's like we're just as influenced by Dr. Dre and Daft Punk and the Chemical Brothers as we are like Led Zeppelin. So at some point it was just like kind of trying to capture what it is that we all hear in our heads when we start playing something, and then realize like, oh well, let's get let's throw some synthesizer into this, and just certain sounds you couldn't capture with just the guitars. And
I was really impressed by the depth of your recorded music. A very, very dense, intense sound. I've never, I confess, seen you live, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how you translate that to the stage. How do you do that?
Well,
samples.
Sure.
In the past, we kind of road tested most of the material before we recorded it, so it was kind of the opposite. We had to figure out how to translate it onto a record. Kind of, how do we sculpt it?
Right. That's where all the sampling came in too, because we found ourselves in a position where we recorded way too many sounds for the four of us to cover, so we needed help.
Yeah. So we employ samplers and synths, and in order to get the bigger sound. And yeah, like Aaron said, we used to make things. We used to play everything on the road first, and then go and figure out how do we record this. And then more recently, it's the right direction that we really enjoy going in. It's like being in the studio and being like, what is the best thing for this song? Like, what can we do to make this song the best that it possibly can? And so we just kind of go all out in the studio, and then from there figure out, okay, how do we do this live, and still make it entertaining and awesome.
Sure, because some bands can't make that transition.
Yeah, totally.
It's true.
Because we're first and foremost a live band,
Right.
And we extend things a lot live. We just kind of make it. We like to keep things open, and so the balance between having something that's pretty strict on a record and deep and rich to kind of like a open balls to the wall live rock show is just something that we're always still figuring out.
Sure. You're deep into a big tour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about touring.
We were looking at it.
Yeah. It looks a lot like that.
No room left for quarters. Wow, you guys must be exhausted. It seems.
I'm still in my pajamas and it's almost 9 o'clock at night.
It's Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
We were in
tiring.
Baltimore earlier today.
Right.
Yeah, we were in
Earlier
Baltimore this
today,
morning.
right.
Yeah. So that it explains it. It's just kind of lack of sleep, lots of loud noises,
Lots of driving.
lots of gas stations.
Yeah.
And the shows are great,
You enjoy it.
Yeah,
Oh, there's that too.
There's that too.
Music.
We get to play
Music,
music for
good.
fans.
Yeah, we get to play music for a living.
Sure. How's it been?
Good.
Yeah.
It's been going great. I mean, honestly, we're building fans all around the country. There's certain areas that have grown faster and are more surprising. Sometimes you have shows where you go, "Whoa, I had no idea. That's great. Something happened here." It's the last time we played. There were less people, and now there's more people. And other times
People are singing along.
Yeah,
and
people are singing along.
pushing the music around their town. Everyone's got a
Mhm.
copy of the CD and they come out and
That's
it's their first show and they're requesting songs. That's probably like one of the
Nice.
best feelings
Totally.
that there is.
Where is this growth happening the most?
Some surprising cities have been like Iowa City.
Right.
Didn't expect that to happen.
Denver,
Greenville,
Colorado.
North Carolina. We were down there the other week and a bunch of people who were really psyched to see us, familiar with our music.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan.
Michigan's been great.
It's been awesome. Chicago's been going well.
Colorado's been good.
Colorado's been good.
social media.
Social media has a huge part to play.
Yep, that's a
Without
big
a
part.
doubt.
Sure.
I mean, that's
Friends
that's
tell
the ball
friends.
game now.
Exactly. It's in a way it's even with the internet, it's gone back to just the most old-fashioned thing you can possibly
Word of mouth.
imagine.
Yep.
It's word of mouth.
Becoming oversaturated.
When you're at a bar one night with your friend and they say, "Oh man, I was at this awesome show last night," or whatever. Check out the CD while you're in their car, and then
Or they tweet you from where they are.
sure, yeah, or that tweet or share it on Facebook and
Yep.
that kind of thing.
Right.
The music scene in this area is extremely dense and diverse.
Yeah.
How did you end up playing the kind of music that you did?
It's just what
We
we've
just
always
we just
liked.
all come from a wide background of
Yep.
influences,
Exactly.
and it's not really the area that has influenced our music,
Although, I mean,
but it has.
it has definitely, and in certain ways, like I remember before I even came to Ithaca, like going to Grassroots for the first time when I was like 16, and seeing like Sim Redmond for the first time, and buying their CD, and like and starting to become familiar with this pocket, that is Ithaca, and the very like unique set of influences here, and then. And then years later I moved here, and I mean, we've always kind of done our own thing. We just play what we like in our heads. And then, I don't know. See where we fit in, I guess.